Chi-Rho. The Chi-Rho is a Christian symbol formed by overlapping the first two letters of the Greek word Christos, Chi and Rho, X and P. It's one of the earliest forms of the Christogram and is often depicted as a cross-like shape. The symbol is associated with Emperor Constantine, who reportedly saw it in a vision before a pivotal battle and adopted it as a symbol of his faith, leading to its widespread use in the Roman Empire and beyond. Chi-Rho is one of the earliest forms of the Christogram, formed by superimposing the first two capital letters, Chi and Rho, X and P, of the Greek for Christos, in such a way that the vertical stroke of the Rho intersects the center of the Chi. The Chi-Rho symbol was used by the Roman Emperor Constantine the Great, 306-337, as part of a military standard, vexillum. Constantine's standard was known as the labarum. Early symbols similar to the Chi-Rho were the staurogram and the IX monogram. Although formed of Greek characters, the device or its separate parts is frequently found serving as an abbreviation in Latin text, with endings added appropriate to a Latin noun. Thus, XPO signifying Christo, to Christ, the dative form of Christus, signifying Christicola, Christian in the Latin lyrics of Summa is Icumen in. Origin and adoption. Usage before Christianity. In pre-Christian times, the Chi-Rho symbol was used to mark a particularly valuable or relevant passage at the margin of a page, abbreviating Creston good. Some coins of Ptolemy III Eugetes 246-22 BC were marked with a Chi-Rho. In Christianity, according to Lactantius, a Latin historian of North African origins, saved from poverty by the Emperor Constantine the Great, who made him tutor to his son Crispus. Constantine had dreamt of being ordered to put a heavenly divine symbol, Coeles Signum Dei, on the shields of his soldiers. This description of the actual symbol chosen by Emperor Constantine the next morning, as reported by Lactantius, is not very clear. It closely remembers a Tau Rho or a staurogram, a similar Christian symbol. The very day Constantine's army fought the forces of Maxentius and won the Battle of the Milvian Bridge, 312, outside Rome, Eusebius of Caesarea died in 339, gave two different accounts of the events. In his church history, written shortly after the battle, when Eusebius had not yet had contact with Constantine, he does not mention any dream or vision, but compares the defeat of Maxentius, drowned in the Tiber, to that of the biblical Pharaoh and credits Constantine's victory to divine protection. In a memoir of the Roman Emperor that Eusebius wrote after Constantine's death on the life of Constantine, a miraculous appearance is said to have come in Gaul long before the Battle of the Milvian Bridge. In this later version, the Roman Emperor had been pondering the misfortunes that befell commanders who invoked the help of many different gods, and decided to seek divine aid in the forthcoming battle from one god. At noon, Constantine saw a cross of light imposed over the sun. Attached to it, in Greek characters, was the saying, "In this conquer." Not only Constantine, but the whole army saw the miracle. That night, Christ appeared to the Roman emperor in a dream, and told him to make a replica of the sign he had seen in the sky, which would be assured defense in battle. Eusebius wrote in the Vita that Constantine himself had told him this story and confirmed it with oaths. Late in life, when I was deemed worthy of his acquaintance and company, indeed, says Eusebius, had anyone else told this story, it would not have been easy to accept it. Eusebius also left a description of the labarum, the military standard, which incorporated the Chi-Rho sign used by Emperor Constantine in his later wars against Licinius. Late antiquity. An early visual representation of the connection between the crucifixion of Jesus and his resurrection, seen in the 4th century sarcophagus of Domitilla in Rome. The use of a wreath around the Chi-Rho symbolizes the victory of the resurrection over death. After Constantine, the Chi-Rho became part of the official imperial insignia. Archaeologists have uncovered evidence demonstrating that the Chi-Rho was emblazoned on the helmets of some late Roman soldiers. Coins and medallions minted during Emperor Constantine's reign also bore the Chi-Rho. By the year 350, the Chi-Rho began to be used on Christian sarcophagi and frescoes. The usurper Magnentius appears to have been the first to use the Chi-Rho monogram flanked by Alpha and Omega on the reverse of some coins minted in 353. In Roman Britannia, a tessellated mosaic pavement was uncovered at Hinton St. Mary, Dorset, in 1963. On stylistic grounds, it is dated to the 4th century. Its central roundel represents a beardless male head and bust draped in a pallium in front of the Chi-Rho symbol, flanked by pomegranates, symbols of eternal life. Another Roman or British Chi-Rho in fresco was found at the site of a villa at Lullingstone, illustrated. The symbol was also found on late Roman Christian signet rings in Britain. In 2020, archaeologists discovered in Vindolanda, in northern England, a 5th century chalice covered in religious iconography, including the Chi-Rho. Insular Gospel Books. In Insular Gospel Books, the beginning of Matthew 1:18 and at the end of his account of the genealogy of Christ and introducing his account of the life, so representing the moment of the incarnation of Christ, was usually marked with a heavily decorated page, where the letters of the first word Christi are abbreviated and written in Greek as XPI and often almost submerged by decoration. The letters are written one after the other, the X and the P not combined in monogram. These are known as Chi-Rho pages. Famous examples are in the Book of Kells and Book of Lindisfarne. The X was regarded as a crux decusata, a symbol of the cross. The idea is found in the works of Isidore of Seville and other patristic and early medieval writers. The Book of Kells has a second Chi-Rho abbreviation of folio 124 in the account of the crucifixion of Christ, and in some manuscripts the Chi-Rho occurs at the beginning of Matthew rather than mid-text at Matthew 1:18. Some other works, like the Carolingian Gotteskalk Evangelistory, XPS in sequential letters representing Christus, is given a prominent place.